Dear children, today we will read a play from 9th standard textbook 2.5, a play. Part 1. Scene 1 is there. Scene 1 is going on in the king's court. The court awaits the arrival of the king. Two guards are standing front right of the stage. First guard said to second guard. What he said? First guard, be alert, the king is about to arrive. Then second guard answered, who wants to be alert? Life seems like one long sleep in this land. I am at ease all day, though I am a guard. Then first guard replied, how boring! I wonder if some interesting drama will unfold at the court today. It would enliven the atmosphere. Then the second guard said, I would be equally happy if there was none. Then in the court, a disciple entered in the court and he was looking around. First guard said to disciple, halt! You are a stranger. Give your identity. Disciple, you are right. I am a visitor here, a disciple of the wise sage from the Ghangor forest, which lies to the east of your kingdom. Then first guard asked to the disciple, what brings you here? Then disciple said, I have heard amazing stories about this kingdom of Andher Nagri and the great King Chaupat. I am especially impressed by the fact that everything in the market is sold at the same price, no complications. Then the first guard said to the disciple, you have heard right. In our land, you can buy the most rich and delectable sweets for the same price as an equal measure of vegetables. Takaser bhaji, takaser khaja. I am quite happy about it. It makes life easy. Then the disciple said, so it should. It would be a good idea to settle in this land. But first, I would like to attend the court today and pay my respects to the mighty King Chaupat. Then the second guard said, you may stand there. And he was pointing out to some place. You may stand there with those people who are in a queue. And there was a loud voice came from the backstage. Hear you people, here comes the most noble, most revered, most gracious, most learned King Chaupat of this vast kingdom. Make way for the king, bow to the royal monarch. Then the King Chaupat arrives to the fanfare of bugles and drums and takes his place on the throne. Then the king ordered to the court, let the court begin. Fourth guard messenger said, the first complainant. Fourth guard messenger announced, the first complainant. Then the thief rushes forward and wails loudly. The thief came there and he was crying loudly, justice, O most great king, I beg for justice. Then the king asked to him, and what is your complaint? Then the thief said, In this great land of Ander Nagri, my friend and I have been truly hardworking, honest thieves. All these years we have been true to our profession. And what is our reward? Last night, with great efforts, we made a hole in the wall of a merchant's house. When all his family were away, my friend peered through that hole into the house when suddenly the wall collapsed and the thief started to cry loudly, and my friend was instantly killed. I have lost my only friend and partner. O king, it's the merchant's fault for living in a house with such weak walls. Then the king ordered, fetch the merchant at once. A life for life. The merchant must be hanged. Then the third guard leaves the court and he returned with the merchant, and the merchant was bowing before the king. Merchant said to the king, mercy, O noble king, I had no intention of killing these skilled professionals. It is not my fault that the wall of my house collapsed. My house has been recently built. It is the fault of the bricklayer who carelessly built such a weak wall. Then the king ordered, bring the careless bricklayer immediately. He must hang for his fault. Second guard leaves the court and he returned with the bricklayer. Then what bricklayer said to the king? Let's read. O most kind lord and king. And the bricklayer was kneeling to the king. Have mercy, I beg you, don't send me to the gallows. I agree that I built the wall which collapsed and killed a man, but it was not due to my carelessness. The mortar which I used to lay the bricks was of very poor quality. There was too much of water mixed in it. It is entirely the mortar maker's fault. Then the king ordered to the guard again, summon the mortar maker at once. He must pay with his life for his thoughtlessness. Then the first guard again exits from the court and returns with the mortar maker, who rushes and throws himself before the king. Then mortar maker, said the king, and he was wailing, means crying loudly. Forgive me, O merciful king, please do not hang me to death. I have a wife and two young children. Who will look after them? King, your carelessness has cost a life. You must pay with your life. Mortar maker, no, 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 my royal lord, I am not to blame. The pot which I used to pour water into the mortar had an extraordinarily large mouth, so excess water poured down into the mortar mixture. I was helpless. It is the potter's fault for making such a useless pot. Then the king again ordered to the court, to the guard, let the potter be brought here at once. He must be executed for moulding such useless pots. Then the fourth guard leaves the court and re entered with the potter. Then the potter said to the king, the potter cowering before the king, your Majesty, show mercy to this humble potter. I agree the pot I made and sold to the mortar maker was the defective one, but I am not guilty, as I was molding that pot. I heard the sweet, delicate tinkling of anklets. It was the money lender's daughter. She distracted me just as I was shaping the mouth, and it became too wide. Then the king ordered to the guard, bring the money lender's daughter here this very instant. She must be sent to the gallows for disturbing this poor potter at work. First guard leaves and entered with the money lender and his daughter. Then money lender said to the king in a desperate voice. Oh, just king, spare my daughter. She is my only child and to be wedded next Monday. Then the daughter said to the king, Oh, do not fret, father. The king will not hang me. And she turned her face to the king. Your most esteemed highness, I rarely step outside the threshold of my home. But as my father said, I am to be married next week and my jewelry is not ready. I had to go to the goldsmith's shops to urge him to work faster and hand over my ornaments on time. The potter's shop is on the way. I could not help it. It is all the goldsmith's fault. Had he delivered my ornaments on time, I would not have been forced to go past the potter's shop. Then the king said to the guard, Then send for the goldsmith and without any delay, he must be hanged.